Hey everyone, it's the Sith Justice Warriors podcast coming to you with our gaming podcast with your co-host, Princess Olympia.
Hola.
Hola. So, we finally had made time for this gaming podcast. And so, what we've got today is news honestly has been a bit light. I think we're in the transition phase between the old generation and the new, and I think the most common topic you see online has been the fact that in the United States, at least, uh, with Black Friday coming around, Black Friday is the event where PS5s and Xbox Series X's and S's are restocked so that, interestingly, people would have, in normal circumstances, gone out, waited in line. I remember the joy of doing it once. I don't know why I did it, but waiting in line at like what, 12 o'clock.
Yeah, you gotta do it once, especially after you eat all this food and like your body naturally wants to go to sleep. And this is just probably an American thing because, Black Friday, like Thanksgiving isn't necessarily across all the other countries in the world. The idea of giving thanks is. But to your point, like you would eat all this food, the stores would open at midnight, and you would wait, you'd take your nap and then you'd get up and wait, right?
Well, that was before when it was just Black Friday, and
Yeah.
then Walmart decided to be evil and make it we're open on Thanksgiving. And then it's funny because I was talking to someone, I don't know if it was you, it's just like the evil, as much as I like capitalism, this is pretty evil getting into
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. And here it is, some um, event where I guess we'll call it nature. It created a virus that said, yeah, no. And so it'll be interesting because it's going to be for in terms of the sales, a battle of the store that has the best online infrastructure. And so I mean, in my head, Walmart. So Walmart gave ads where they're only selling PS5s and Xbox Series X's online at what's it? You said 7 o'clock at Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So uh, I guarantee you, though, they'll run out really quick because I think last Wednesday they had stock and that went out and that sold out. Kudos to the folks that did. For now, I've been disciplined and not done it, but I might be just tempted to see if I'll get one on Black Friday just to see it. Your thoughts on that one? I think it'd be interesting to get your thoughts on consumerism and how this is going to work out with.
Yeah, well, what's interesting is, and just a side note, because I was talking about other countries, France's prime minister, they actually the foreign ministry there, they actually are considering canceling or not canceling, but postponing Black Friday. So, they're calling for all the French retailers just because of the situation, the lockdowns that are happening. So I foresee a big bump in e-commerce. And to your point, the whole idea of who has the best infrastructure. And for the last few years, Walmart has been paying to play against an Amazon, probably for this very moment. I don't think they foresaw a virus coming to do this and change the way we do business, change the way we approach life. But they are ready to go. It feels like the fact that they've been aggressive at doing their deals early. Amazon now is doing the deals early. To your point, some of the deals, like it's like a staggered deal approach. And especially with people concerned about exposing themselves to a virus, like they definitely will probably reach for the computer, their smartphone, and just order their tablet, order it online, be done with it. But I agree with you. The infrastructure is going to be key. I can't remember what year it was, but there was a year, and I'll go to Cyber Monday, which is usually following Black Friday. But the Monday following Black Friday is that there were certain websites that crashed because they just could not maintain the traffic flow. And so that will be the key, especially for this. But I think that's why the staggered approach. But I agree with you. The retailer that will win is the one with the best infrastructure and the one with the most product in demand, so to speak. So, but I will tell you, I'm very shocked that these two companies, Sony and Microsoft, were able to bring in a second wave, or whatever you call it, third wave of product in so rapidly. Because unless they rerouted it from countries where they sold it and they didn't sell through as much, but it was interesting to me that the launch was the launch. Remember, you could pre-order, right? And they actually encouraged you, and some people got an invite to pre-order, and those were the lucky few. So it was interesting because that pre-order sale sold out. And then the whole staggered, like, oh, we happen to have like X amount more units. I don't know if that was done on purpose or not. I'm curious, like, if that really was the case, or like if this was done on purpose. But the fact that they were able to get their hands on a few in such quick turnaround time was interesting to me. So we'll see. But yeah, now that you bring up all of these Black Friday, like, deals, like it makes me think, like, it's like I said, we always try to cover it like the best things, but if you manage to be one of the lucky few to have a next gen console, you might as well fork over for the TV to support it,
Yeah, I think the TV is relatively for what you need the 120 up to 120. There's like a couple out there within the 1500 range.
Mhm.
In my mind, because people talk about their OLEDs that were like what 3000 or something like that,
which are now like half the price.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the thing that's holding me back a little bit too, is that I may have a 4K TV and I think it could go up to 60, but if for me personally, that's the one thing is like, sure, 60 is my minimum nowadays because of PC, but then the question is, well, first off, we have to see if there's any game that's hitting 120 because
Exactly.
I saw on Twitter, for example, Assassin's Creed Valhalla Series X was not doing 60. I think it was like doing 40s, which was kind of disappointing with that. I don't know. People were then saying, oh, you have to do a patch and there's going to be optimization, yada, yada, yada. Okay, whatever. But I don't know. I've yet to see. I think like that in my mind, the technology for 4K 60, you like it only was in PC, where PC was like you'd have to buy the $3,000 video card.
Yeah.
So,
which are on sale now.
the TVs are out there, and if you're still at 1080p, I'd suggest you take advantage of it if you can afford it. And for those, again, this is a very strange time where a lot of people were not just impacted socially or mentally, but they're also impacted financially. I expect Black Friday to be a bit more aggressive because brick and mortar has lost a lot of traffic. That's another thing to keep in mind as well. So, hey, take advantage of it. I saw Xbox and PlayStation also have their digital game sales. I think the interesting thing is I guess on the Xbox side, Assassin's Creed Valhalla just came out. It's on sale, but you have to buy it with like a bundle or something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, if like Odyssey and Origins was on sale, and on the PlayStation side, I actually find it fascinating that sometimes the PlayStation side has the same game, but it's slightly cheaper. And I mean, again, it's nothing different in terms of like the games that are on sale versus the price range and all that stuff. But hey, if you can take advantage of the lockdown, go ahead, game on. Game on, folks. Alrighty. So I think then. Oh yes, we have not. Well, just as a PSA, we have not gone over the Cyberpunk Nightwire stuff like we did in the past. I must admit, I'm kind of tired of Nightwires, and I just want December 12th to be there. Do Did you read anything, Lumpia, on anything with
I
that?
didn't because, like you, I kind of got like I most of the night wires weren't like it's not like they were revealing anything that they didn't mention before. The latest one that I read about, I did not watch, was around like the tracing ability. What do they
Ray
call it?
tracing?
Yeah, retracing. So which they covered in that like hour long one that they did
Hmm.
initially, and they like they had that walkthrough. Like so, it wasn't like anything earth shattering, like because like we talked about, the game is done. It's just a matter of like the other like little tweaks. Like they're not changing the game itself. So um yeah, I kind of was a little disillusioned by it and decided not to watch as well.
I
I
mean,
will
there was.
watch, if it's like a big reveal from Keanu Reeves, but that's it. Maybe
Yeah, they blew their Keanu Reeves on his motorcycle advertisement, and as much
maybe
as
you
I
won't
like
get
Keanu,
over it.
like, come on, Keanu, like the only people that are buying your motorcycles are the rich kids. No offense, I wish I was a rich kid myself, but in terms of the gamer, your average gamer is probably just your working class citizen.
Mhm.
uh in my and I'm just saying, like, please, like, don't market your motorcycle knowing that most of the people are not going to afford your custom motorcycle. But they also did some of the Xbox X versus Series X gameplay. I just looked at it from a quick glance. I'm like, okay, it looks okay, good, whatever.
Yeah, there were like articles on like CNET like talking about that, like how it looks and stuff like that. And again, I really didn't. It's more like, let me get my hands on it. Would be nice to do that. Yeah.
Yep. And I think the other item for me I just wanted to cover was the I don't know why I'm calling this big news, but it's just more of a joke. It's the headline that Marvel Avengers decided to do a deep dive as to why we should be excited to jump back into Marvel Avengers with Kate Bishop.
Oh boy.
I didn't watch it.
Now, is it
No,
finally out?
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not. I didn't watch it, so I'm being ignorant. I probably need to be fact checked from a diehard fan. But that being said, you need some juice. The unspoken reason why this game failed was the bait and switch of, "Ooh, I'm going to be the Avengers," to, "Oh, I'm really Kamala Khan." Then you're going to basically promote it by having another character that's like, "Oh, Hawkeye, wait, oh, wait, ooh, Kate Bishop, okay," and then you're just still waiting for the Clint Barton one, right?
Yeah. It's which is kind of like interesting that they kind of pushed him off to the side, but okay.
Yeah, you look, you'd want them to have a DLC that just rejuvenates the base. I don't know why they thought Kate Bishop was the one to do it first.
I don't either. Like you could have picked, I don't know, you could have done a Wolverine DLC maybe, or
Yeah, I mean, there is no license issue at this point.
yeah, that's why a part of me is like, you have so many characters and that's what you lead with. Like again, didn't play it. But if we talked about this like was a couple weeks ago. If you're consistently losing people in the game, like people aren't coming back to it, you got to do something to bring them back in. Because this isn't about winning the new ones. This is about maintaining what you had the first week the game came out. And so yeah. It'd
I
be
will say, okay, if we compare, right? So Destiny has a huge spike with the game, the main campaign, which, by the way, we once we're done, we will go play. Um, so you have the campaign end, and then you get the drop off of the people that then stay for the season, and then there's the hardcore that stay beyond the season, right?
Mhm.
How could Marvel could is is there a way for Marvel to just do that? You'd think that with all the characters and the legacies that they have, that they'd be able to do that. But I just don't know why they're picking the characters that they think are popular. Like, is this again? Oh no, we're going into our Sunday podcast. But is this them with like continually looking at Twitter? Wow, there's such a buzz for Kate Bishop, and then the normies who barely touch the comic books see Kate Bishop like, wait, this is Hawkeye.
Yeah, yeah, but not even that. I mean, let's face it, comic book sales have taken a real turn. It's been the trajectory, and the new entrants, the new characters, the new titles have not fared as well as your, let's call them heritage, like brand, like heritage titles. X-Men will always be X-Men. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're never going to not have an X-Men title in your roundup, just like you're always going to have Avengers. Like, but, just like Spider-Man is always going to be Spider-Man. Like, you can't stray away from it. That would have been a perfect one to do as well. A DLC because, but with all the licensing crap, but Sony could lend them Spider-Man to release it all to everybody. Like Sony would get the initial Spider-Man launch, but then the DLC would cover everybody. Like that would have been like pick the one that is a winner in the sense of everyone knows Spider-Man, everyone knows Wolverine. I know I keep going back to him and it sounds like a no-brainer, but I would want to play a DLC with Wolverine. But
You'd think.
you would think, but like you said, it's the things that they think are the ones. And I mean, what do I know? But I will say this, like, the you got to go back to the foundations because you're losing people. That's the key point I was trying to make is they know that they lost people because after they played it, they didn't come back. And based on like the feedback they're getting from the people who love. But like if that's the case, you better do something. And Kate Bishop is not your answer. And just makes me feel like they're not trying hard enough, or this was always the plan. You know what I'm saying?
I think there's been a lot of rumors of Anthem rebuilding their game. I actually believe Anthem has a better shot at saving itself versus Marvel's Avengers, and it's huge. You're paying a license to make this game. You're paying, you're basically also having to go under Marvel's, direction, which we know this thing goes all the way straight up to Kevin Feige and his illustrious plan that we're seeing in the movie theater / Disney Plus. So, man, I get, you know what? I think it's because Marvel is a very special place for me, but I can never get it back.
Yeah, I know. It's a very special place for me too. And I will continue to support it as much as I can, but it's definitely changed. It's not the Marvel I grew up with, and that's what sucks. Yeah.
For another type of podcast than it is.
Yeah.
I think we'll end it there. I mean, it was a quick roundup. Sure, I'm hoping there's some more meaty stuff because Halo Infinite just gives you little teases here or there, and I just felt that hey, it's not really much meaty stuff for me. So until we get something fun like $7.5 billion acquisitions,
until we see something come out of that, I feel like. Yeah, but there's more important things to do, like defeat this Destiny thing. Because I will tell you, I've been thinking about it this whole week because I've got a plan, and we've got to get to the season of Hunt. People are already talking about the raid. Like, that's where I'm kind of like, dude, like, where have I been? Like, I'm so slow. Like, I admit, like, we have other things to do, like, in life. But like, man, if I had like 2 hours in the day, that's probably what I'd need to catch up with some of these people. But I'd never really catch up because they really are way ahead of me, like, in terms of the season. But yeah, everybody's like already done this big raid that I have no idea what it is. So yeah,
So I think we need to work on that. So with that
exactly.
said, thank you for listening. If you like the content, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications as we drop more info. Also, we are at Twitter at JustTheSith, and also note that we are on popular podcasts like Spotify if you miss the content live or would like to listen to an audio only podcast. That being said, see you all on the Sith side.
Bye.